Hey there friends, I haven't made a video for a while. It's been quite a busy period over here because I have been looking into what new products to develop for spring actually, because I want to be ready for when people will start setting up their spring seasonal table around February, March. So I have things to offer that they can actually enjoy, so I've been busy with that. But today I want to talk to you about something else. I want to talk a bit about the celebration of Advent in Waldorf schools, or Vrije scholen, as they're called here in the Netherlands. And the reason I want to do that is because I think it will be interesting for people who want to get to know how Waldorf schools work, but also for parents like myself who are beginners in this world and want to get a bit of a deeper understanding about it all. So, first of all, Advent is a religious holiday because Waldorf schools are actually religious schools. You would say more spiritual, as they are open to students from all sorts of religions, at least here in the Netherlands. But there is definitely the religious aspect of it, as they celebrate the wheel of the year through the holidays of Christianity, actually. Even though they get inspired from other sources like fables or mythologies of other nations, other cultures as well, depending on the country where they are set up. What exactly is Advent? Advent begins 4 weeks before Christmas, specifically the first Sunday, like 4 weeks before Christmas. What we do traditionally, we light 1 out of 4 candles that we will have on the table. It could be the family table or the seasonal table at school, or another area that you have dedicated for the Advent, to celebrate the Advent. And I do actually have memories from this from my own childhood, because my grandmother was German, and they do have Advent in Germany as well. So whenever we stayed over for the weekend, during Christmas time, we would light the candles. But now every one of the 4 weeks of the Advent has a different kind of meaning, and it refers to a different kind of archetype of the world around us. So that's what I find really interesting and what I want to talk about. The first week of Advent is the week of stones, of minerals, of bones. So it's about the solid basis that we have. It's about the core of the earth, the ground that we stand upon. It's about grounding and knowing that there is a solid basis into everything. The structure of our own body, our bones that really keep us like strong, and we can stand and they support us. And usually how you indicate this on a seasonal table, you would put some crystals on there, or even stones that you can find. The second week of the Advent is the week of the plants. Humans and plants have a very important thing in common: life. That plants do actually have their own life. And plants give life to the planet, obviously, like through oxygen, and with the help of wind and rain and earth, they go into this continuous circle of decay and rebirth, and they really demonstrate nicely the circle of nature. Now, with young children, what you can do in order to make them think of the role of plants in our life, you can use the Christmas story. So you can help them ask themselves, how did actually plants help Mary and Joseph during their trip? And some answers that might come to mind is that they would eat plants for nourishment. They might have protected them from the rain with their foliage. They might have kept them warm if they hid under straw or under leaves and these kind of things. And of course they breathe the oxygen from the plants, these kind of things. Or they could even cover them from enemies, from people passing by, because they didn't want to be seen, things like that. The third week of the Advent is then the week dedicated to the beasts, to the animal world. And of course we have many things common with the animals. We have the fact that we can move, so not only the life that we have common with the plants, but also movement. And in addition to that, feelings and instincts and these kind of things. And there is so much to talk about animals, like how connected we are to them, and especially children, they are even more connected to animals. They will pretend to be animals throughout their play. They observe them very carefully, even from a very young age. They will look at a bird and be like, point to it even before they can talk. So you can really use animals to help children find their strengths and weaknesses. You can ask them what do they think it's their like spirit animal or their totem animal. Like, do they feel strong like a bear, or do they feel like scared like a little mouse or a sparrow? And what animal can they use to get strength from? And all animals have their own strengths. Like even a snail, the fact that it has its own house always with it and can always be protected. You know how it takes its time, moves slowly through life, but then it has this peace into it, like fish also do. So learning from animals, learning from these archetypes in the animal world is also really nice. And of course, if you want to use a Christmas story to demonstrate how animals play a role in our life, then of course you can talk about how the ox and the sheep and the donkeys, they kept baby Jesus warm during the cold nights. And then you have the fourth week of the Advent, and then that's the week of humans. And it's about the interconnectedness of humans, of how we relate to each other, how we are one thing, like the humankind, how we are not different from each other, but how we are all similar to each other. And about bringing humans together, talking about what is special about humans, about thoughts, about the things we can develop, the things that maybe plants and animals cannot do, even though they are amazingly vital for life. We couldn't exist without them. So it's I really like Advent because it really shows you how you have to respect nature, how you have to respect the environment, how you have to respect the people around you, because we are all one. And I also like how it uses the Christmas story, even though we ourselves are not religious in our house, but I like how it uses the Christmas story because it's a story that it's easy for children to understand in a way, as complicated as it is spiritually, but it is easy to understand. It's about a family protected by the animals, cold night, a baby comes into the world. So it's a nice story to demonstrate this oneness in the end of it all. One part I really like what they do in our Waldorf school here is how they demonstrate how baby Jesus arrives. So there is no complicated talk about, how did Mary have a baby, because Joseph is not really the father, but of course he's the protector of the baby, and the baby is God's baby. How is that all? Well, it's super complex. So actually what they do in the very young kids, so kids 2 to 4, they have on their seasonal table this little ladder, 2 angels on top, blue background with stars, it's the sky. And every day they have this little felt baby Jesus that is going like more down to the stairs, while you have a little felted Mary and Joseph walking towards the stable. So they will meet you on Christmas Day. And in the older kids, 4 to 6 or 7 years old, they do every day the Christmas play. So they enact it every day in the class. And then it's actually an angel that brings the baby to Mary. Please don't get me wrong, we have talked to our own kids about how babies are made. You might choose to do or not to do it, but I had a home birth. Our oldest was even here when I gave birth, so she really knows how babies are born, but that's not about how babies are made. That's really more spiritual journey about how spirit and matter all come together and form this oneness. And then of course Christmas is celebrated. Many Waldorf schools have their Christmas play. The teachers take part, some parents take part, and then the children, like the young ones, like I said, they enact it every day during the Advent. So they play all the different roles, and that way they come in contact with these archetypes. So I think it's a wonderful way to actually experience this whole thing. And the other thing that happens during the Advent time, I think many Waldorf schools do it, our school for sure, they dim the lights and we sing all together every Monday, and then it's all quiet, Christmas songs about turning inwards and finding the strength in yourself and the light inside you. Because Advent is really a transition from the darkness of the depth of winter into light. If you look at it from a natural perspective as well, like 21st, 22nd of December is the solstice, so it's the smallest day of the shortest day of the year, and you have so much darkness, but then things start like daylight starts to be more present. So it is about this this transition, and it's really nice. You can do many things with children, help them experience it, like be more quiet at home, do more activities that require like a bit of focus, concentration, light candles, bake, read, say stories in front of the Christmas tree if you have one, talk about how the seeds will grow in spring and how they are now resting in the ground, these kind of things. It's about introversion in a way, and I think it can be a really nice period and not a depressing one because of the cold weather and the rain, these kind of things. I hope you found this mini introduction to Christmas in the Waldorf School useful, and please do enlighten me. Do leave in the comments things you know, things you've read about it and you enjoy, other traditions that inspire holiday celebrations in your Waldorf school, in your area. I'd really love to learn more about it, read more about it, watch more about it. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I will be back to you with more videos soon. Have a nice day. P.S. The spiral, I forgot to talk about the Advent spiral. So in all Waldorf schools you have this amazing tradition that kids will draw spirals or will walk into a spiral made out of candles and usually leaves of pine trees. And this really signifies how you go from outside, from the light, into you walk into the darkness, and then oh, I'm sorry. You have that as well with Advent, like colds, flu and stuff. And then you walk again outwards towards the light. Spirals are amazing. Draw them with your kids, make your own from felt, and just follow it with your mind. Like, try to understand what it means. It's such a nice meditation. So now I think I've covered most of the essential points. Thanks again.